Hey guys, so I'm sorry it's been such a long time me filming a video. I just came from a little networking event, which is why I was like, let me film now because I actually look decent. Got some makeup on somewhat, did this little updo. My hair is in this weird phase of like being able to be in a decent ponytail and kind of half not. So just kind of needed to do something with my hair today. Um, we had this kind of like mocktail event today, and it was pretty cool because it was basically like just alums that came and talked to us that were doing different things. Some of them were working in government, some of them were um, at big firms doing a different type of law. One person was in telecom law working for the FCC. Another person was working at a big firm. So it was really interesting to kind of see like what people were doing, and it was basically kind of like practice networking. And they gave us feedback to see like how we're doing with interviewing and how we respond in a social setting. And sometimes I forget because I've been working for so long that you know people really don't know how to do that. And although they said that our group did really well, I do think that it is different kind of in this legal setting just because it's a very formal profession. And like even with my hair kind of like this, I don't know, I just feel kind of weird because I'm like, okay, so I'm so formal in this suit and my feet hurt because I'm in these heels. So it's definitely different. But yeah, I am in this phase now where I am the marathon. It's like a little bit over we're like in the three quarters of the way done with the semester. I'm actually only going to get 3 grades a semester because I have 2 courses that are year-long courses, and you'll learn this. It's usually contracts and legal writing that it'll be for the whole year instead of the semester, so you don't get those grades until the end of the year. I feel like I'm doing good, but I feel like I could also be doing a lot more. And that's one thing in law school you'll learn. Like, no matter how smart you are, how much you get it, there's always going to be those days where you're unprepared. And the most organized person will just be from lack of sleep. Like, oh my God, I don't have a pen today. Or, just things like that. And you'll learn. It's really good to have alliances in law school because one thing that you forgot, somebody will be like, oh, hey, go do this, don't forget because of this. So that is really important, but I have tried to keep myself out of the competitiveness of law school. There's a lot of people that are very, very competitive. Like, oh, I want to be this president of somebody, this, that, or I'm going to be, I'm going to work here, I'm going to work there. And I realize it's a thing. Sometimes I think when people come straight out of undergrad and it's just kind of like you haven't worked and you don't really know that, like, you'll be all right. So that's kind of one thing that I'm just trying not to get caught up in that because it can be very distracting, and it can be kind of like if you run for an office or something and you don't exactly get it. There's a lot of things that come into play, especially with the HBCU. Networking is everything, and who you know is everything. And if you're not in that group, it's okay. If you're not in a group where you know everybody and you're cool with everybody, that's okay too. There's always going to be people where you're like, I don't necessarily gel with that person, but it's not the end of the world. And I think that it's important to kind of just like keep everyone as not necessarily a friend, but like a good acquaintance where you're on good terms with everybody because you just never know. You just never know. So I'm getting ready to do my contracts reading, and I just kind of wanted to go through because I feel like I've watched a lot of blogs and they don't really necessarily, it's just kind of like a day in the life type of thing. But I wanted to just kind of do something productive to kind of show you guys how I read, because reading is really important. And it's really important being prepared for class and getting the best notes and getting the best out of class. Because you're going to be briefing cases, and briefing cases is like, you know, if you don't really understand, you don't have a system for it, it can take forever. So I have been doing this thing where I've been trying to actually brief while I read, or at least right after I read, type up my briefs, because if I try to wait, it's always horrible. So anyways, I'm just going to kind of show you guys one of my case books and show you what I do when I read. So basically this is my contracts book, and I have a color-coded system, and so basically all the highlighting in the different colors means different things. So as you can see, I have my yellow highlighting, and I use this for my facts, and it's really important to have facts. I have my contract teacher, I'll tell you, this is hilarious, because she has this thing where she's always like, everything is facts and circumstances, and it's so much so that my section is like, we need a t-shirt because it's facts and circumstances. So anyways, I have the facts highlighted in yellow because I feel like that's like the most important thing here. And also you'll notice some things. I do actually annotate my book, and where I actually like write in the margins. Just little things that'll help me kind of understand what's going on in the case. So over here you'll see that I actually have different colors. The blue I use for my explanation. So this is kind of like when you're going through the rule here first, which is I have in red. I have my rules in red usually. Red or pink, actually. This is what you're going to be using. This is your governing reasoning. So the reasoning is you get it from the rule. So everything that you need to base your decision on comes kind of from that rule. So I usually highlight that in red, being that it's like pretty important, and then the blue is like the reasoning, the analysis, right? So here, after that, I usually have, let's see, what do I use? Okay, so for procedural things that are going on, I usually do that in like a purple kind of thing here, just to kind of tell me, okay, so what did the court decide and what did they do? So I usually use about 4 colors when I read and highlight. So that's really important, and the also the annotating is really, really helpful for me, because I need to basically know when I'm going back to my brief and like tapping up my brief, okay, what was the rule? How did they come to the conclusion from their rule? And then after that, sometimes, the other thing, it's really important when you read these case books is to look at the notes. Look at the notes that come after the case. That's really essential, because a lot of times that's the questions that the professor is going to ask you in class. Like, you know, okay, but what do you think about this? Or what about if I change the scenario and say this? Or what if, they call them hypos, what if we have a hypothetical situation that the facts change to this? So a lot of times that will actually be in the case. So it's really important to read those notes afterwards. So, oh gosh, I didn't mean for this video to be so long. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to catch up with you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make another video before final. So, I'm actually debating on whether I should be driving home for Thanksgiving. I really, really want to, but it's a 10-hour drive from where I'm at, so I don't know if that's going to happen. I probably am going to have to wait till the semester is over, although it really would be nice to have that feel of just home and everything right before finals, just to give me some confidence and, you know, love. But I don't know if it's worth sacrificing the time to study, because most people have like a reading period where you get like a week to kind of study for your exams and everything. Our school's only giving us the weekend. So that is going to be a really crucial time, like right after Thanksgiving. So I just don't know if I can do it. But anyways, that's about it. Nothing too much going on. We had our homecoming, but I really didn't participate in any of that because I was just burnt out from midterms. I mean, midterms were take-home midterms, and they weren't even really like officially part of our grade. But I just wanted to do well, and one was due before midnight on Friday, and then I was just burnt out and like didn't want to do anything else after that for the weekend. So anyway, that's it. I'll let you guys know when something else is happening. Alright, thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and I appreciate y'all with the views and the follows. Please follow, and you guys take care.